How the heck are you guys? I am Fastidious, and welcome to what is definitely, without a doubt, the most chilled, low-stakes, laid-back summoning in the history of this channel. You can see here, I'm doing pretty good. This is the most sacreds I've ever saved on any account ever. I have 15 sacred shards. I've barely been pulling these the past few months, only the minimum needed for events and fusions and whatever. Though I did have one big bad go of it when I pulled like 11. But whatever. We're back up to 15. That's going really nicely. And I really want to keep hoarding these. Why do I mention that? We have a summon rush right now for the Crocod Throat Ripper fusion. And I've made the decision I'm going to go for the lowest reward. I've never done this since I've been back in the game, since I started this specific account, where I'm like skipping out on fragments or skipping out on something early on in a fusion. But I'm pretty confident this is the one I want to skip. So why would I skip this to begin with? Well, you can leave 10 fragments on the table. So if we look here, I've completed 4 events so far. I've got only a couple points left in Ice Golem. So it's actually going to be 5 events and 30 total fragments. But you can see here, 25% of the way done, 25 out of 100. You obviously need 100. There are 110 that you can earn, not counting placing first or second in the champ training tournament or the champ chase over here. And I think these are what I want to skip. I think these 10 right here, these Summon Rush 10, this is what I want to skip. Now, why is that? It's a progressive this weekend, and it's a style progressive, if that makes sense. So the style is like cool, supporty reviver units, and I actually just pulled 2 of them during the last Prism we went in on. So you can't see it here, obviously. There's no Prism pool live now, but that was a force summoning pool, and in it, we pulled Pythion and we pulled Glaikad. So I'm just in really good shape when it comes to these kind of units. I don't really want to go heavy on this kind of progressive. In general, I hate progressives and could care less about them. If I'm going to pull my summons, I'd rather it be on a 2x, and I'm assuming next weekend with the Champ Chase, we'll have a 2x. So I think that's where I'd like to line things up. I also have a slightly easier burden in that Champ Chase because my Yannica is ready. And in general, we know they said they're going to make Packmaster available somehow. I want to be as conservative as possible with this fusion as I do exactly that. Normally, I overshoot events and tournaments a bit with these fusions because, as a balling on the budget, decent spender, $150 a month, it's comfortable enough that I can usually get a little bit extra. I've done the exact bare minimum so far, and will continue to do it for the entire fusion. So all that being said, let's get the summons done. Not too much to discuss. Let me know in the comments if you're doing anything similar. But we're keeping it pretty low stakes. I don't want to go too heavy in on this. So it's only 2,050 points for the first 5 fragments. It's 3,200 for the next 10. I have enough mysteries that I could pull 5 sacreds and then get this going. Instead, we're just going to pull 3 and get this going. So I'm going to save myself 2 sacreds on an event I don't really want to be pulling on. So I think that's pretty fair. We're at 750 mysteries, so we'll get right there. We'll use 550 of these, and we'll do 3 sacreds right now. So let's do those 3 sacreds. You can see that pool I kind of discussed. The other thing is I have all these epics, so I wouldn't mind picking up some empowerment and stuff, but I have multiple copies of all these epics, except maybe Tagoar, and Tagoar is as good as all these guys are. I just love Tagoar. I use him in still basically every piece of content. It's almost embarrassing, but we're definitely going to pick Tagoar. We'll go for those dupes. And like I said, I have Glaikad, I have Pythion. I don't need another force unit. So it kind of comes down to Elva, or a force unit that, kind of fills this role. So it really comes down to Elva or Duchess. If you're an OG player like me, yeah, Elva's cool, but she ain't Duchess. Duchess was my most wanted unit for years of my life playing this game. So you never know. Let's go in here. 3 sacreds and a dream. Can we get lucky? I doubt it. I sincerely doubt it. Kicking it off with what could be less climactic. What could be more anticlimactic? What could suck more than like a Ripper? Yeah, OG useless epic Skinwalker. Could not care less about this guy. He could not be in the game, and I wouldn't know, and I wouldn't care. 2 more. I don't think my expectations have ever been Nizana. I don't think my expectations have ever been lower heading into a summoning session in any game than they are right now. I can't even put into words how much I expect to get absolutely nothing. We at least got a faction guardian out of Nizana. This is actually pretty funny. We got one more. I just love that we're still going to have 12. We'll still have 6,000 points of Summon Rush for a future thing, or I'm thinking maybe a crazy Deck of Fate or a crazy path for Packmaster. So I'm trying to sit on that. Also, you never know what they're going to throw at us. I'm just trying to be really conservative with my resources. I should say even more conservative with my resources. I'm always, I think, maybe too conservative in all these games with my resources. But let's see. Of course, it's epic. Oh my God. This was all time. Nazana's not bad, but Missionary, are you kidding? One of the worst champions and one of the worst ways to have sex. Jesus. What a loser. All right. Well, there we have it. Things are going according to plan, though. We are in fine shape. We go here into the Summon Rush. We picked up exactly the 1,500 points. I did a 10 pull of mysteries earlier. We'll gather all this stuff besides the energy. I'm trying to be very min-max with this energy, as always, but especially right now because I'm doing things so conservatively, and we're in fine shape. So we can go ahead and we know we're going to get that Summon Rush. If you just want a quick little overview on what to look ahead on with the rest of the Fusion, the number one thing I would say is the Champ Training Tournament. I'm not saying to push hard on this, but if your group is obviously easy, like if you're starting this Champ Training Tournament and you're looking at it and you go, oh, this is clearly going to be an easy group, this would be a really easy extra 10 fragments. Then you could skip 2 small tournaments that remain, or 2 small events, anything basically but the Champ Chase. Or you could, if you're like me, you could forego the second reward and just pick up the first 5 fragments in the Champ Chase. So this is the one thing I think I would push hard on potentially from where I sit if my group looks easy. But if it is not very clearly and obviously easy, and I can tell from like within the first 24 hours, obviously I'm not going to push. But I did want to shout that out because if you get this first place reward, that's 10 fragments. So if you're planning for the Champ Chase, really nice, then you can skip 2 of these things. Or if you don't really want to summon more, kind of like me, you could just skip that. I'm sure the first reward will be pretty easy. So that'd be my number one tip. Aside from that, we still have 2 Dungeon Divers left, which is unbelievable. One started today. Look for this synergy here, especially if you got a good, nice higher level Spider team. We got a little lineup with the gear enhancement, getting silver from Spider, Champ Training. Maybe you're doing some kind of duo or solo farming. And then Dungeon Divers, this is like a perfect, this day, Monday, August the 8th is definitely going to be something. And then for Dungeon Divers again, this Dungeon Divers has complete overlap with all tournaments for the remainder. It has the last day of Spider in the first 2 days of Fire Night. This is the day you take off, right? August the 5th. And that's basically it. So far, I think this was a super easy Fusion. I thought the point totals were fine. If you were prepared, which I think most of us were because we had like a week and a half, 2 weeks in between, this is just fine. And it's all fine and it's all good. Let me know all your thoughts below, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know, did you go for the full 15 frags from the Summon Rush, or were you a baby like me and you're just taking the first 5? And if so, if you did pull just a little or just a lot, let me know who pulled the best thing. Did anyone actually hit gold? Did anyone actually get Duchess? This is like the 4th Duchess progressive I've pulled a little on for some event, for some Fusion, since I came back to the game. And of course, we've never hit her, and we never will hit her. I will never get Duchess. It's just a fact of my raid existence. I think probably true for a lot of us. Thank you, guys. And I want to say, if you're not yet playing Raid Shadow Legends, use my link in the description in the top pinned comment. It is the best link in the land for amazing champions almost immediately, including Fastidious Roanus, literally immediately. The second you can open your mailbox, he gonna be there waiting for you. Thank you, guys. Share with your mother, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.
Fastidious.